Guys, no prep as per. I got my slide back to an old friend. Kept the slide for a long time. It's been a while since I played it, so all of my muting, obviously if you're going to play one string and hammer the rest of them, you have to mute the other strings that you're not playing. So it's Muddy Waters style stuff, this guitar probably isn't set up the best for the slide. Anyway, I just got back from the gig. Great blues gig in Belfast. If you're in Northern Ireland for any reason and you're here for a Wednesday night, go to the John Hewitt to check out the Gareth Hughes Blues Band. Those guys are great. They're dynamite. You know what I mean? But one of the guitar players, he did hold on to this. I got this as I sort of won it. I was playing up with Rob McCullough. He was the local blues guru, at a time, and he passed sadly a couple of years ago. But I used to play with him occasionally, and one night I pulled this little plastic slide out of my back pocket. We were doing a solo, him and me, and so he was in the middle of hitting a bend with this, in a Muddy Waters sense, which Michael Bloomfield probably exemplifies in his playing. If you want to check that out, with the Butterfield Blues Band, etc. Guys that really studied that old style. I suppose they were up close. It was quite good for them. But I immediately got to go. I think the guy and my mentor, many years my senior, was probably a bit pissed off, But I was certainly surprised that he was this young guy who was going to play some Muddy Waters shit underneath him. You know what I mean? Because suddenly that's like a challenge to say, well, holy God, how deep does it go, But the next night I come down, he come and give me that slide. He says, you dropped your slide on stage. And I says, no, I didn't. I don't know, I have it at home. And he's like, no. Do you know? What is it they call it? All you Star Wars nerds out there. It's like, there's some sort of a move, yeah. But he says, no, you drop this on stage. And he gave me this brass slide, which belonged to him, as a little thing to say, fair play, you know what I mean? You earned that night. So I really shouldn't have lent it to that guy who shall remain unnamed, you know what I mean? But I finally got it back tonight anyway. So, Muddy Waters, he let me go. A student of Son House. He loved Son House, and he loved Robert Johnson also. He learned from Son House, It's crazy. Those guys were all closely connected. Charlie Patton, whoever else. Who really knows? I mean, some guys are very educated in the history of the blues, and they could probably, But yeah, there's another thing. If he goes to the 5-chord, he'll go. And that's all in standard tuning. So it's not quite as easy if you're in an open tuning. You can just go like Elmojames. If you're in an open tuning, that's all a little more accessible. The Muddy Waters stuff that I heard, apart from say, that was in what he called Spanish tuning, according to a book I read, which was a good book. If I could remember the title, I would spill my guts, but I don't quite have it. Those are some of Muddy's moves, and being in standard tuning, there's Rory Gallagher tune that opens the Tattoo album. I think it was 1974. That one came out. Something like that. Cradle Rock. If I was a baby, then you'd let me rock. You know, obviously, we're not all Rory Gallagher, so it's quite difficult to do. But then the band takes off and he goes for a solo and he goes. Obviously, the action and the tension of the strings and his guitars and really accommodating his brass slide. You might need a little glass slide in order to get around that, you know. So it made me realise that Rory Gallagher was like playing just through scales and open shooting. He did things in open shooting as well. So let's see, can we access an open shooting without much reminds me of Sticky Fingers album, you know, the Rolling Stones. So suddenly you've got this open thing. And you can't really go wrong, it's all open, you know what I mean? So, walked up to 31st Street, asked for a jug of alcohol. Walked up to 31st Street, picked up a jug of alcohol. You can just do that. I asked him for a drink of water, he wouldn't give me, you know, tramadol. And you got to think with Elmojames, because he's one of the main slide guys, isn't he? And a stylist with his slide playing, his vocals certainly was a style that belonged all to him, a deep vibrato. And Jimi Hendrix's girlfriend Faye told us that he was trying to ruin his throat to get that deep vibrato there. I went on now. I believe I've got my boom. You know what I mean? It's quite hard. He's one of those guys that's not really all that Elmojames, you know. And that's what they mean by stylist, you know, someone that has a number of moves that equates to, you know, a whole set of phrasings and touches and tones that belongs to them. That's something that they have set up, you know. So whether you can copy it or not, you got to trace it back to the originator and say, fair play to you, man, you know. Like Paul Butterfield, you know, he done his own thing. He could have copied everybody else and went, you know, but he knew he had some extra something to give it, you know, and an original mind, ideas, what have you, you know. But Elmore, yeah. Well, I'm gonna write a letter, telephone every time now. Yeah, but we can't all be, you know, Paul Butterfield, Elmojames, Muddy Waters, you know, Rory Gallagher. it's unfortunate, but we can't be ourselves, you know. So for what it's worth, you might be an all-time great, you might be nationally recognised, you might just be a guy that's very appreciated in your hometown. Either way, it's nice to be oneself, isn't it? Good night, folks.